This episode of the Impact Lounge is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.com, the #1 place for your hotel and travel needs. It's easy to use and gives you many options to sort the results and find the best hotel for you. Listeners of the Impact Lounge can receive a $25 cash reward upon your first time booking. All you have to do is check out the description at either Podbean or YouTube. Click the link, book your stay or your travel, and get a $25 cash reward. Hey, what's going on, everybody? BQ here. Welcome to the Impact Lounge Impact Wrestling Review. I am flying solo today for this one. This is going to be a really brief review. This was a really crazy few days for me. I didn't get to watch Impact as it aired because I was on my way to WrestleCon, had WrestleCon, traveled back, and then had to work a couple days. So it was really difficult actually to schedule doing this review. That's a lot of the reason I stepped down from doing it to begin with. But I'm going to knock this out real quick solo for you guys, and I'm going to put this caveat out there. I had to stream the show online and had a lot of issues. I mean, buffering, page freezing up, and now they actually took the video down. So I actually didn't even get to watch the entire main event. So this may be the worst review you've ever heard in your life, but I at least want to give you guys something for the sake of consistency, because this was actually a pretty good show. It was just a little difficult for me to follow it. We start the night with Cage and Lashley. Now, Lashley cuts a pretty decent promo here. We obviously know this is Lashley's last match, and now he's over on Raw. I watched that video online. I don't know if it was YouTube or Facebook or whatever. He looks pretty happy to be there. I don't think we should give him a hard time for it. He gave a lot to Impact Wrestling. You know, and sometimes I can relate. I live in a cold state, a cold weather state. I'm from a warm weather state. I've also lived 6 years in another warm weather state. So if someone were to say, hey, do you ever want to go back to California or go to Florida? Yeah, hey, if the opportunity comes up, cool. But, you know, this is my home now. Like, I'm happy where I'm at. I live in a cold weather state. You know, it's very different. I've never been landlocked before. But I'm happy here. This is my home. But that doesn't mean if the opportunity to go back to Southern California one day were to arise, you know, maybe I would jump on it. And I'd probably be happy, you know, very happy there. So we shouldn't give Lashley a too hard of a time. The company chose not to re-sign him. He did not leave on his own merit. So I'm happy for the guy. He's definitely excited to be there. But he did the right thing on the way out the door and put over Brian Cage. And there's not a better guy you could have in the company than Brian Cage to be that next big guy, that big star, and literally big guy. My concern is I feel like it's going to take a while for not Lashley, but for Cage to connect with the audience, because it seems like they're not super into him. He was doing, hurricanranas over the top rope, all sorts of shit, and the crowd was giving him absolutely nothing. Nothing. The crowd for this episode was a little bit better. However, I think it was the same exact crowd from the previous week, so I don't really understand how you can have more energy the second half of the show. But, you know, that's what it is. But they were definitely a little bit better this week. These two put on another really good, solid match. For two guys this size to do what they were doing and to put on two great matches in a row really says a lot for the direction of Impact Wrestling, because let's face it, big guys, muscle guys, like that is not hot anymore. When I was coming up and I was a kid, you wanted to have that big stature and you couldn't wait for those big guys to come out. And then it got to the point where, you know, no one wanted to see that anymore because the wrestling wasn't that good. These guys really delivered. I'm sick, so if you hear that in my voice, I really apologize, but I'm not feeling well. Last week's match, Cage won with that discus lariat, and I didn't really like that finish. I thought it was a weak finish, and then he did that lackadaisical cover, the one that, you know, typically gets a near fall or someone gets their foot on the rope, that lackadaisical cover, and that's how he beat Lashley. So I didn't like that. This time he wins with the drill claw. Lashley does the right thing, putting this guy over on his way out the door. Big things coming for Brian Cage. Let's just hope he can start connecting with the audience a little bit better, because he deserves more than what they were giving him. Allie comes out and calls out Su Yung. And Allie played to her character a little bit. And, you know, they're not going to change her all at once, but they got to keep certain elements of the Allie character that got over. She calls out Su Yung. Su Young's entrance is phenomenal. just her control and the music and the movement. I mean, great theme, great presentation. Like, she's going to kill it in this company. I've seen her wrestle and shine, and I remember thinking, like, she's never going to get out of the indies. You know, I just didn't think that gimmick would work. And it probably wouldn't work in, like, WWE or something, but it's perfect for Impact Wrestling. I just hope they don't get away from... You know, it seems like they're pretty happy about having Su Yung on board, but I hope they don't... I hope Rosemary doesn't pay the price for that, is what I'm saying, basically. I hope they don't, you know, Rosemary's the franchise when it comes to the knockout. So I hope they don't say, okay, well, now we got another demon, because evil demon-wise, she plays this a lot better. And Rosemary's character is, you know, very different now than what it used to be. You know, even when she was attacking Taya a few weeks ago, which I agree with Adam was an awful segment. You know, she's wearing the Demon Bunny shirt, which is a very cartoony shirt. So Rosemary's character is changing a lot, but she's still the demon assassin. And the company needs to remember that. That is a franchise of the Knockouts division. Her and Su Yung could do something very special in the future. I think that with the Allie and Su Yung thing, I think what they're trying to do is recreate the magic that Allie and Rosemary had on the indies, because you obviously can't do that feud in Impact now. There's no chance of doing it. But I think with Su Yung on board, I think that's what they're trying to do. I could be wrong, but I have a pretty good feeling about it. Mackenzie was backstage with Matt Sydal and Josh Matthews, and they were talking about Petey Williams bringing his bad vibe and costing him the championship. Someone's going to have to say something in the comments here, because I don't know what they were talking about. Maybe I just, my memory is escaping me, but I don't remember what Petey Williams had to do with Austin Aries winning the Grand Championship. I got no clue. Did they have a backstage segment before the match or something? I don't remember. So someone let me know. But Josh is challenging Petey Williams next week. I do hope we actually get a match, but I'm 90% sure we're not going to. My only assumption is because Petey Williams challenged Matt Sydal for the championship. That's what they were referring to. But I don't know. You guys will have to let me know if there's something else that I'm missing. So KM, there's an in-ring segment. I actually kind of like this because I'm a KM fan. I can see how a lot of people maybe hated this. But he finds Richard Justice and tells him, you got a match. And, you know, this way. So he goes out there, and KM is just bashing this guy. I mean, straight 80s jokes, early 90s jokes. A couple of them were funny. A couple of them weren't. The first one where he said, you're so fat, you when you have a bowl of cereal, you need a lifeguard. I thought that was a skinny person joke. You're so skinny, when you get a bowl of cereal, you need a lifeguard. So I don't understand that one. But that's part of Cam's character. It's cheesy, you know, cutting the fat jokes. It's like the yo mama jokes. So I actually kind of enjoyed it. Richard Justice actually made you feel bad when he had the mic for a second. It was like, come on, we're going to do this. Let's do this. You're embarrassing me. Fallah Bahh comes out. Never seen this dude run before like that. Makes a save. Randomly, Caleb Conley and Trevor Lee come out. No clue why. No clue. Then Tyrus comes out. This was the best part of this segment because I really enjoyed the Tyrus promo. You know, they set up a 6-man tag for next week, but I really liked the Tyrus promo. Then we get a match, Johnny Impact versus Ishimori. And I'm not going to BS you. I was a little preoccupied during the match, but I saw it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of action. I guess I lost a little bit of interest because I don't think Ishimori is going to be around very much longer. I could be wrong, but I don't think he is with his leaving Noah and trying to get to WWE. I don't think we're going to see him past this set of tapings. So kind of for that reason, I didn't have too much interest in it. Johnny Impact's theme, Ishimori has a great theme. Johnny Impact's theme is okay. I hate the way it starts. That first few seconds, hate it. But when the main theme kicks in, then I kind of dig it. But a lot of back and forth, real just X Division type of stuff, real flashy, real flippy. The finish on this one was a little bit weird. So Ishimori goes for the 450, misses, but he lands on his feet and rolls out, and then Johnny Impact does a running knee, and then hits the Starship Pain. I mean, you would think it would be more at this point than just that running knee. So the finish kind of came out of nowhere. I'm not a big fan of Starship Pain. He never seems to connect on it. You know, it's kind of like Jeff Hardy's Swanton. You know, it's like the back of your head hits him, and that's about it. I liked his other finisher he used to use. I don't remember what it's called. It's kind of like a spinning neck breaker. Like, I prefer that. As expected, Congo Kong comes out with Jimmy Jacobs. I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing what these guys can do, because this is Congo Kong's first opportunity to have a big feud. Now, the whole thing with Abyss, enjoyed that, loved it, but Abyss is just another big guy. He's basically a part-timer at this point. And before that, Congo Kong was just squashing a bunch of guys. So here he's going to have an actual, feud with a top-level guy. I'm interested to see what these two can do. When Johnny Impact dove over the top rope, he took Congo Kong out. I mean, I don't know if he was supposed to knock Congo Kong over. I don't know if it was one of those things he was going to, hit him, and I don't know, but he connected and knocked him the hell down. I actually got to send him a message and ask him about that, because that looked pretty painful. We get a redemption video package. They've been doing a killer job with these packages. Obviously, it's hyping Alberto El Patron and Austin Aries, which isn't going to take place anymore. What do you guys think about these LAX Clubhouse segments? I kind of like that they, I like when they find a reason to get the champion on TV, regardless of what belt it is. You guys remember a couple years ago when Jade was a knockout champion? We didn't see her on TV for like 3 or 4 weeks straight. Yeah, LAX isn't competing on TV, but it's nice to see them in some kind of segment. So the Case versus Case, Eli Drake versus Moose match. I barely got to watch this. I am trying to find a way to find it online. You guys are going to know more about this match than I. I just know that in the finish, OVE came out, and I think maybe Sami Callihan did too, attacked Moose, or basically cost them the match. And Eli Drake leaves with both cases. So that's good storytelling. That's good storyline. We want to keep Eli Drake in that main event picture. What better way to do it than have him with two briefcases, tag team title shot and the world title shot. This helps give Eddie someone to work with on his side in this whole feud with OVE and Sami Callihan. So that's a real positive with this. And then long-term booking-wise, I can see now that they've been established, Moose and Eddie, or they will be established, Moose and Eddie teaming up and then going after the tag team titles. Especially if Eli Drake wins them, I can see a feud there. That it just makes sense. It all just comes together. So we'll see if that's what happens. Next week, we're getting KM, Trevor Lee, and Caleb Conley versus Richard Justice, Falaba, and Tyrus. Some reason I really want to see that match. Josh Matthews versus Petey Williams. Again, I'm hoping that this one is an actual match. I doubt it is. And then Demons Dance, Rosemary and Taya. I don't know if we're ever getting the First Blood or the Red Wedding match. Maybe this is it. I don't really know. They didn't really say what Demons Dance is, but should be an excellent main event. They also said this was the last time they would face, so I assumed, you would push that to Redemption. So I guess we'll see. Last thing I want to say is the GWN throwback match. I don't even know what it was. I'm tired of them. I got up and left. Came back. The match was still on. I have no interest in that anymore, and I would assume the next set of tapings we're not going to see a whole lot of that. I have to believe people are complaining about it on the surveys, but usually I'll watch them. I had no interest this time. I'm done with them. I'll turn on Twitch or Pluto TV if I want to see, or the GWN if I want to see some of that old stuff. Don't want to see it on the weekly episode. I'm done with it, and I'm gonna get up and leave every time that's on. I'm done with it. So that's it, guys. I want to do something really, really quick for you guys so we could at least cover the show. And I'm sorry, this probably wasn't the best review in the world, but, again, that's what I had to work with this week. I think Adam will be back next weekend with Roe, and we'll continue what they're doing. They're doing a phenomenal job. I'm very happy with what they're doing. And if you're a first-timer, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.